Hello and welcome to Opportunity Knocks. We're talking about attracting opportunities today. With me is Lady Lou and Jan Stringer, and I'm Marian LaSalle. It's so happy. Well, I'm actually happy to be here because not everybody has internet. And so we're just kind of flying. We're flying here. So we're happy that you're going to be able to see us today. We're happy that you'll be able to see the replay. Hi, ladies.
Good morning, y'all. Hi, Jen. We're so tickled to have you back. She was here with us back in September, and we had such a good time. And she knew she was having this wonderful webinar coming up in February, so we invited her back. So thank you for coming back, Jan.
Great to be here.
Oh, well, we're looking forward to it. But first, let's talk to Marian. She's got some job opportunities for us. And we hope everyone is nice and warm and dry because we're going through a deep freeze in the whole country, not just Texas. So, Marian, what do you have for us?
Well, like you said, the whole country seems to be in a deep freeze or iced over or snowed up. I have a lot of friends in Texas, and they are really, really, really trying to not only stay afloat, but try to make a living today. Good luck on that one, right?
Online.
Well, the beauty of being online is it's warm in here, so.
That's true. Right. That's true. Now, if you don't have electricity, most of the time it will affect your internet. So, you can have a backup, like a jackery. Now, I'm really into van living, like, getting into a camper van and traveling the country. And so they have alternative ways that you can keep your heater going, your little buddy heater, your internet, things like that. So you might want to start looking at that on YouTube. They have one called the Jackery, and it'll run your computer, it'll run your Mr. Buddy heater, and what else do you need, right?
Oh,
because you can have a campfire.
I have a kerosene stove in my garage just in case I ever need it, but I've had it for 13 years and never used it. So,
Jan, tell us where you are.
I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is it's 7,000 feet above sea level, the altitude here. So we are like the high desert and up in the mountains. So we get some snow, and we got snow out there today. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if it's real hot in the summer, people tend to come up where you are, right?
A lot of Texans get their vacations in New Mexico, so.
That's smart thinking. Well, down here near Houston, I've got 4 inches of snow on the ground, and it did not go away. It came in Sunday night, early Monday morning, and it's still there, and we're expecting more.
Oh, wow. I grew up in Houston, as you know, Louise.
Yeah.
And I was 7 years old before I ever saw snow living in Houston. So I know what a freak of nature 4 inches is.
Yeah. You should have seen my cat when he normally goes out after he has his breakfast, and his first little foot hit that white stuff. What was that? He wouldn't go out.
No.
I bet. Well, I do have a couple of really good opportunities for working from home. I know there are jobs out there available right now where you could go into work, but we're really focused on allowing you to work from home if you want to. Now, that doesn't mean you have to stay at home. It means that your home base is your office. So what am I talking about? Like people who do loan signings or people who do home repair. They don't have to have an office to go to. They can run their business or their opportunities out of their house. So I have 2 jobs for you today. I have a lot of jobs, but 2 companies that want to hire you for remote work, which means either telephone work or on the computer. All right, so let's start with those. The first one I found is a fantastic company called Lion Bridge. Lion Bridge, Lion Bridge. And they have so many jobs available. I could never express it all to you, but I'm going to go over some of the top ones that I think are important, that I think that you might be interested in. And let me just tell you right now, I want to share with you and I want you to share with others. So please forward this on to the people that you know in your life who need a job or who need opportunities. There's families out there that don't know what to do. They have lost their job. They don't know what opportunities are out there. So please share this with them. Lady Lou, will you tell them how to share?
I surely will. Thank you, Marian. That's the biggest part of our show. It's not just who sees us on live, it's the replays that are so important to us because they're there forever, I guess. And all you have to do is go to YouTube, just type in the little search bar, Marian LaSalle, and then click on her little picture and it goes to Natural Curiosity. And there's a whole ton of videos there. And the Opportunity Knocks, we're on number 7, I believe, aren't we, Marian? And
I
we
believe
have
so.
our old show was called Work From Home. We had 40 weeks. 40 shows on working from home. So you can go back and watch some of them and pick up some of the tidbits that Marian brought you then about other companies who have jobs that need filling. Some of them are desperate to have people fill those jobs.
Honestly.
Yeah. There's a light blinking on and off, Marian.
It's well, where I'm sitting, the light is coming in. It's getting sunny, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting hit by a sunbeam.
Yeah.
Something magical is happening. The light's coming in.
Marian is up in Michigan today. Can you believe it?
Oh, gosh.
That's snow country.
They're used to it. They have no problems with it. Oh, 2 feet of snow, no big deal. We'll just, the snow plows come, and the next thing you know, everybody's out doing their thing again. It's like, wow, they don't miss a beat. My daughter goes all the way from Michigan, the Lansing area where she works, all the way about an hour away, an hour north of there, and she drives that. It's like, oh, it's okay, Mom. So I dug her out this morning out of her, I was like, oh. Anyway, okay, let's back to jobs. All right. So Lionbridge, this is just the types of opportunities they have. Okay. Legal services, if you have anything to do with legal, like paralegals or an attorney or anything like that, they have tons of jobs for that. Banking and finance, gaming. Lots of young people love the gaming industry. They have lots of jobs for you if you really like gaming. Life sciences. Now, I don't know what that would be, but that sounds fascinating. Quality management, machine translation. Don't even know what that is. Integration, they have a huge community, and they have some very specific jobs that they're looking for right now to fill. And one of them is called the corporate associates. They want you to be part of what makes them run, from technology to finance to marketing and sales. So lots of opportunities for whatever it is that you have or whatever it is that you want to move toward. They have a lot of opportunities also for raters, annotators, and testers, website testers. They are welcoming home-based workers from around the world. It's not just here in the United States. So if you're watching this from Canada or Mexico or somewhere else, look at this company, Lionbridge, because it's worldwide. And they have a global community that leads innovations in AI. So you know how big that is. Okay, they're right on the cusp of the technology today. AI is taking over. So
tell us what AI means.
Oh, I'm sorry. A is for
artificial
intelligence. And I
intelligence.
Is for intelligence, right? Translators. If you have a good voice, they have all kinds of opportunities for you to use your voice. Okay, so just check out Lionbridge, and we will have the links down below. So don't you worry. Right after the show, I'll put them on. Sometimes I'm a little slow, but not today. Second opportunity with a company. It's called Pearson, Pearson, Pearson. You probably have heard of it. It's worldwide, national. It's really big here in the United States. Tons of benefits for working for this company. It's remote jobs galore. As a matter of fact, I had to keep hitting more because they filled up a whole page of remote opportunities. You could hit more. I finally quit hitting more. So whether you are a program director or you're product developer, product directors, they have lots and lots of jobs, and they're all remote. If you happen to be in one of the states that they're working in, I'm sure that you could go into the office once in a while, but who would want to, right? Project coordinators, process improvement analysts. I'm just not even going to talk about it anymore. You just go and check it out for yourself. Pearson, and we'll have the link down below.
Wow. It sounds like they're global.
Yeah, they are.
That's
They've been around a long time.
That's very encouraging, isn't it? To know that there's so many opportunities for people just in getting those tips that you're giving them, to check in at those places. That's so great.
Yeah.
Jan, one other thing that I am very passionate about is if you don't qualify for it today, that doesn't mean in 6 months you can't. You could watch YouTube videos, you could take a course, you could have, you could do a lot of things to get your opportunities up to the point where they would hire you. Okay. Yeah. So don't just look at today like, oh, I don't qualify today. What about 3 months, 6 months, a year from today? You could have a whole new career if you put your focus on it. I really want you to focus on your opportunities and don't just stay where you are. That's where really what I want the opportunity to be about for me today is for you to see what opportunities are out there.
And some of these companies will actually train you. So if you do see something you think you'd like, talk to them about it and see what kind of training they have. And sometimes the training is free.
And they'll give you laptops, all kinds of, Wow. Yeah, I had a job opportunity a couple of weeks ago, and they told me not only would they send me a computer, which I already have, but they would send me a printer. They'd pay for my printer if I bought one. They would pay for my training through the state. I mean, I wouldn't call them desperate, but I'd say that opportunities are amazing. Do not think that you can't be working next week. Okay, so let's move on, and if you have any questions or any concerns or you need some advice, please reach out to us. We're here for you. And we have a newsletter that goes out every week. Lady Lou sends some awesome opportunities for recipes and all kinds of things. Go to NaturalCuriosity.Life and check it out. All right, Lady Lou, will you ask Jan a few of the important questions that I know you have?
Oh, thank you, Marian. I will. Jan, we've been waiting for you to come back. We had such a good time back in September.
We did.
You have just told us, and I didn't know it until this morning before our show started, you are part of a new compilation book, and I'll bet it's a bestseller because your other two books are bestsellers.
Yes.
Tell us about your new chapter in this new book.
Yeah. Actually, the book went to #1 on Amazon in several categories by noon the first day that it came out. So that was really cool. And let me tell you a little bit about how this chapter writing for me was. It's just a chapter, right? And I've written 2 other books, but I really felt like there was a new message coming forth from me. I've been sharing my other message of attracting perfect customers and the power of strategic synchronicity, and sharing my strategic attraction planning process for 20 years. And nothing wrong with that. It still works the same as it did the first day. But I really felt like there was a new expansion wanting to come forward, and I wanted to be part of this book for the reason of kind of bringing that out in me. And I'm just so excited about some of the things that have just started to unfold. So this is the book. I just actually got my copy a few days ago. It came out as a Kindle version, and you can get it in a paperback. It's called Soulful Leadership, A Spiritual Path to Health, Wealth, and Love. Oh. And there's 20 plus authors in here. Many of them I'm very familiar with, but they all have really inspiring information. They have good information. And my chapter number 25, is called the magic of sacred synchronicity. The magic of sacred synchronicity. So, I've been sharing, and I talked about this when I was here in the fall, about strategic attraction, where you get clear about what is the kind of job or employer that I want to work with? What are the relationships that I want to attract? And what I realized is there's kind of like another level beyond that. And I've seen it in my own life where I attracted certain relationships. And over time, maybe they started as a customer or a client or any kind of relationship, but they become what I call your golden relationships, your sacred ones. And you soon see that these are the relationships that that your divine wanted you to be in relationship with. And so what my message is all about is definitely law of attraction still works, but the next level where it goes beyond just like attracts like, it goes to something that is so meaningful for you. And so that's what my message is going towards. And just as an example, last week I was a presenter at one of these beautiful online virtual retreats. I attended the same retreat a year ago in Orlando in February, right before, the global crisis hit, and nobody was really traveling after that. So that was my last trip. But a year ago, I was sitting in the audience of this soulful retreat in Orlando. And even though a lot of people might know me for 20 years, and I've been, on many stages, I felt kind of small. I had been a little puny. I'd been sick off and on for the few weeks right before that. So I felt a little puny, and I wasn't going to go. And then I went anyway. I felt like I needed to be there. Talk about opportunity knocks. I felt like there was something for me there. And if I would just kind of take another Advil and get on that airplane, my box of Kleenex, I could go and I could just sit in the room. And so I went. And even though I felt, kind of like an invisible woman, and even though I did get on the stage and present, I just didn't feel like it was, my best me. And so what I did when I came back from there, since I didn't quite feel 100%, and then this whole pandemic, just added to that feeling, I decided that since I've been teaching for 20 years, I should become a student. And I just started learning. And I have been in so many Zoom classes and with top entrepreneurs, and I'm taking notes and I'm learning. So I got lots of notes, and I did a 6-minute webinar training where I learned to create a 6-minute webinar. I learned to write a script for my webinar, which helped me, again, to pull the information out. What else did I do? I napped. I walked my dog. Really, it was just this whole regeneration period. And so fast forward now, a year after that February retreat, I was invited to be a presenter at that retreat again. And I was sweating bullets, truthfully. I'm like, what am I going to say? I feel like there's something that wants to come forward. And I went, Jan, you've got it all right there in that chapter. Is that it's not just about attraction anymore. It's about calling it in. And I think that's a good message for what we're talking about here today, is that when you're ready for that right assignment, that online work, or whether it's your business or you're going to go to work for somebody else, you could today take a few simple steps to start calling it in. And so how do you do that? How do you call it in?
Yeah.
And so what I do to call it in is I start thinking about, and I write. I like to just Write it out. You can do it in your computer, but I like to write it out first. Start writing out, what is it you want? If I were going to call in the perfect assignment, what would be involved? Who would the people be like? What would the people be like? What would they say? What would they be talking about? Are they fun? Do they wear jeans to work? What do they do? Are they social media savvy? Are they, family people? Do they love, do they go to church on Sunday? Whatever is important to you, I want you to start inviting those people into your home. Since we're all at home now, we can't go out and shake hands and meet and greet. So you have to call it in through your soul.
Oh.
You look inside of you. You look inside of you. Who is my perfect next fill in the blank? What is the relationship? It could be an employer with a job assignment. It could be a website designer. It could be a romantic partner for all that. You could call in whoever you feel is going to support you today and start there. So take your pen and paper out. I mean, it's old school, but it still works because it's helping you to see inside of you what's important. So that's my tip for today. Call it in by writing it out and then visualize it. Before you get on the, let's say you do connect with somebody at Lionbridge or Pearson and you've got an interview set up, envision what they will be like. Envision what they'll ask you. Think about it in advance, the kind of person that you want to see on the other side of that screen, and call it in. And I'm having these amazing experiences. And all through that retreat, people were saying, I'm having sacred synchronicity, because, somebody in my breakout room was exactly the person that I wanted to connect with. So that's my tip for today.
Jan, I want to really hone in on this because I think this is really the key to everybody, mindset. Okay. If your mind is not right, all the opportunities could be right in front of you and you don't even recognize it. It's like everybody knows you buy a new car and it's red. Well, now all of a sudden everybody's got that car. It's everywhere. It's all about that. It's all about figuring out what it is that's right for you. And then your opportunities will just magically appear. But they were there the whole time. You just didn't recognize them. One of the first things I learned many years ago was from a Reiki master teacher. So I was going through the course to become a Reiki master. And the first lesson she gave us was the flow. Okay. You can't stop the flow. If you stop the flow, then, nothing's going to move, right? It's like a pond. If it doesn't move, it starts getting green, right? And thick, and it doesn't move. You've got to move. Yeah. So what Jan is saying about writing down, getting it out of your head, talking to your friend, Louise is fantastic at this, okay? She will help you figure out what you're good at just by, pairing back and forth. Ask your friends, ask your colleagues, people who you trust. What are you good at? Write it all down and be able to receive, okay? Because if you can't receive, you're blocking that flow.
True.
Yeah. True. And we're going to add one more step to this, Marian and Jan, and it's Dr. Joe Vitale's tip about Nevilleizing. And some of you have read Neville Goddard's books, and some of you haven't, and they're wonderful because he teaches the key to all of what we've just now been speaking about, and that is to feel whatever it is that you're desiring right now. Feel that job. Feel like you've already had that job for years, and it's so easy to do, but feel it as if you already have it. And it's like magnets. It attracts it to you.
It really does. Yeah, it calls it in.
I feel that, Louise. I feel that.
I'm drawing it to me. Woo. I get goosebumps.
Bring it on, baby.
Oh, it is so important to feel it. And I know people say, well, how do I feel it? I don't have it. Well, that's the mindset that Marian was just talking about. You got to get the mind squared away first. This is what I want. Write down the tips like Jan was saying, and then feel them. Oh, I feel that I'm in this luxurious office. And it's your own house at this point. And your house is wonderful. You love your home, so feel the love of that job in that space.
Yeah.
Feel it in your heart and in your soul and your mind. It's all working for you if you will work it.
And just remember, when you write these things down and you visualize it and you're calling it in, literally feel yourself calling it in. I like that. And then let it go. Okay?
Yeah.
Just let it all go and trust that the right assignment, the right person, the right experience, whatever you need is going to happen. You've got to trust that and believe in it. And if the first interview isn't it, the next one will be. But just let it all go after you've really taken it in, felt it, embodied it, and then let the divine put you in the right place at the right time. God will help you if you let him or her or whoever you pray to,
That's right.
and just let it happen.
I call it God, Goddess, Source, all that is. That covers it all.
Me too. God, Goddess, all that is. Your higher self, however, whatever works right for you. And that's really how it works. That is sacred synchronicity. You will be writing me and saying, I had a sacred synchronicity. I had this interview. I knew it wasn't it right off the bat, but the next one was my heart and soul was singing. And so that's what you want. You want to feel good. You want it to really resonate with you so that when you're doing the work that you're meant to be doing, you know you're in the right place.
Yeah, it's all about you. It's not about somebody else out there doing it for you. You take the responsibility to attracting that particular work or joy. It could be joy. It doesn't have to be work, but whatever it is that you love. And some of us may not know what it is we love. And I used to say years ago, I don't do it anymore. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I found it because I didn't give up. And what I love is working with people and doing our shows. I mean, I never knew I was a video personality. But Marian
You've always been a video personality without the video, maybe, but you're in your calling, my friend.
Exactly.
When I first met Jan, when I first met Lady Lou, I saw her from across the room at a networking event, and she had a crown on her head and a big jeweled spider on her shoulder, on the back end of her shoulder. And I said, I gotta meet that lady. She was the queen of networking, and she's been that ever since. Even though she tried to give up her crown, she's still it. She's still it. She has a new every Wednesday. Well, maybe not this Wednesday. We'll see. Most every Wednesday she has lunch with my friends. And it's a wonderful opportunity. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's on Zoom. So all you have to do is contact her. How do they contact you to get invited to your lunch?
Well, if you're already a friend of mine on Facebook, send me a private message and I'll send you the private link that we use. Or if you don't know me yet on Facebook, friend me and I'll friend you back. Or send me an email at texasladylou1@gmail.com and ask for the link, because I don't broadcast the link. I really choose not to. And we had I think most everybody last week was brand new. I had not met them. They were friends of friends because everybody invites their friends. And we're having a blast getting to know different people through the internet networking. It's fun.
See, I told you she didn't lose her crown.
No way.
She's still doing that. She likes to connect people together.
Yeah.
We had a great time, and we're going to, good Lord willing, I still have electricity because some of the companies are doing rolling blackouts, and
Oh yeah, I heard
I'm
that.
in a little co-op that's in my area out here in the country, and we have not had a light flicker, not one flicker even the whole
Yeah.
time. But 4 million plus households, 4 million households in Texas are out of power right now and have been since midnight Sunday night. And my sister's one of them in Houston. And it's a nightmare when you don't have a power. Her house was down to about 54. That's cold in a house.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So it's a nightmare, and we're, good Lord willing, we're getting through it. And by Friday, we'll be back to normal. But that Friday's a long way. We still have Viola, the next storm coming in. So
Yeah.
goodbye, Viola.
What? You got another storm coming?
Yes.
Well, I'm not coming back until that's over. Okay.
Oh, well, Jen, tell us a little about this wonderful webinar you have coming up next. This, what, couple of weeks now?
It's February 24th. That's a Wednesday. And I'm co-hosting it with Mark Porteous, who is the man that actually put the compilation book together. And he's also the one that I spoke at his retreat last week, the Soulful Leadership Retreat. Anyway, we're collaborating on this event, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. But
is that the master class?
It's a master class.
Okay, so I have that. I have that on the screen. It's a free master class, Strategic Attraction to Sacred Synchronicity.
And
I already signed up.
Lady Lou will be there, and so come, and you might meet somebody there that is a sacred synchronicity. It'll be an interactive opportunity, just not, show up and hear me speak. You'll have an opportunity to meet people, and because that's part of it. When you go to these things, sometimes you don't get a chance to meet who's in the audience, but we'll give people a chance to meet you. And I invite people, when you go into these breakout rooms, to call in who you're supposed to meet. Why am I at this event, if not to meet the right connections? So
is this in person or online?
It's online. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be Zoom. It'll be a Zoom thing. We don't do in person anymore.
No.
No, but yeah, it's a Zoom, and
it's free.
It's totally free. So
we'll get
sign
back
up
to in person.
I have had an online business since the year 2000, so for 20 years. And for me, it worked perfectly then and still does. So I love it. I never want to go back to in person.
I think the world has changed in that aspect for sure.
Sure.
I do love the in-persons, but it's not feasible now.
Yeah. But, one result I think you'll get out of attending this master class is that you will leave with something magical. That's my promise.
Oh, I'm ready. I wish it were tomorrow.
It's right. It'll come. It'll come.
Quickly, it's not that far off, and we'll have power back at that point. That's the best part.
Yeah. So sign up, and I think you'll love it. You'll love it.
I know. When you first sent that to me, I signed up immediately, and it's just amazing. And that link is there in the description. So get your little bunnies over there to sign up. It's going to be worth it.
I look forward to calling you in. I'm calling you in now, and I look forward to meeting anyone that joins us in a couple of weeks.
Well, tell us a little bit about your perfect customers. You've been doing that for so many years and have been so successful with it.
Yeah, I brought my other book too. This is the one that got everything started, and it's called Attracting Perfect Customers: The Power of Strategic Synchronicity. So that's where the synchronicity started to show up, is that I noticed when I did this strategic attraction plan, which I started sharing about here, whether you knew it or not, is the first step in a strategic attraction plan, which the purpose of that is to get clear about who is a perfect fit for me to attract to me, what kind of relationship. And anyway, one of the things that I noticed when I started doing a strategic attraction plan is that these out of the blue experiences would happen. It was like, like an email shows up, or you're standing in the grocery store line waiting to check out and you meet your next customer. Or I was at a NIA class, which is a dance class that I love to do. And one of the gentlemen there walked up to me and said, "Hey, I heard you wrote a book." And he and I, he has become one of my sacred synchronicities. And it all starts, you never know when you get clear about what your whole vision is, who you're meant to be working with, what your purpose is, and how that all fits together. Then doors start to open, and it feels magical. And that's what I called in the early days. I called it strategic synchronicity. And now I'm kind of upping the ante a little bit, that I feel like it's really some of those strategic relationships actually go on to be your sacred relationships, the ones that you didn't know would go on, for 20 years or more, or the ones that you just fall in love with.
But you got to be open, right, Jan?
Well, here's what I found. I told you last year I was in this student mode, and I was learning, and I really enjoyed learning from a lot of other gifted people. But you know what it really boils down to is being willing. And I think that I had, am I willing, going on in my head all year? Am I willing? And I was up against that question. Am I willing to bring forth a new message? I mean, I've been bringing a message forward for 20 years. Am I willing to start all over, do a brand new message, new everything, find new words and all of that? Am I willing? And so now I changed that. I am willing.
I am. That's
willing.
one of the sacred phrases. I am.
Willing.
Whatever you put after that, you are.
You have to start with, you can write the best strategy. You can meet the best people. You can have tons of interviews. But it all boils down to, really, am I willing? And so just turn that around and say, I am willing. And then to what? I am willing to build an online business. I am willing to get that next perfect job assignment. I am willing to learn new things. I am willing. I mean, it's so many things that we, when we're learning and we're expanding, versus when I'm in the, am I willing? Can I be willing? That's kind of a contracting phase, right? I don't expand with that. So I turned it around and I stepped into it, and here I am talking to you, beautiful people.
Well, we appreciate it. But see, a part of that is, am I willing? And it's not next week, next year, next whatever. It's today, right this minute, because that's why they call the present the present. It's a gift to yourself that you honor where you are at this moment, not tomorrow, the next week, whatever. That's out there in the future, and it's not promised to us. We don't know it's going to come, or if it'll come, or if we'll still be around when it comes. You got to take care of it right this minute.
Don't wait, man. Get it going.
Or call Lady Lou and she will get you going.
I'll get you going. But it's such a gift. I mean, I have had so many wonderful things happen to me, and I have to say the best thing is Marian. I wouldn't be here if it weren't.
I had a really divine thing happen last week. I had reached out to somebody that's a sacred relationship that was a customer, and now a friend. And she has really developed herself as and she's, branding and all of that. And I said, could I just chat with you? Because I think I'm going to need all of that. And I don't, even know where to start. I need an email signature. I need a website. What do I need? So we talked, and that was earlier in the week. And then she was at this same retreat. And by the way, she's actually one of the authors in the book too. But she called me after the first day or sometime during the first day of that retreat. And she just, because I'd ask her, send me, what would it cost to get started? Because that's a big issue when you're in a startup mode. And she called me and she said, you know what, Jan, I just want you to know something. I'll do anything you need. I want to help you get started. Don't worry about the money right now.
Oh.
And I'm like, wow, I would have never asked for that. But that's what I'm saying. These kind of things start to happen when you open up. You're like, I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm letting it go.
It's not your job to know how. It's your job to figure out what you need and what you want and let the universe take care of the how.
And I did take an action. I reached out to her. So taking actions, you can't just sit at home and ohm all day.
Oh, yeah.
Come on,
let it come to me.
Knock on my door. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to take an action.
Oh, well, that brings up a big point. And I'm glad we're going overtime here because I think this is so important. People don't realize how important the mindset is. So I've had, I do tons of technology work. Okay. So same thing, I've helped people long after they should have just, whatever. Anyway, one of the things that I have always said is, when you tell me I don't have the money, that should be your lesson to say, but what do I have to give? There's bartering. You can't stop the energy and just receive. Like, I'm sure, Jan, you're already figuring out what can I give her in return if it's not cash, because that's not always what we need. I might need something else. I might need you to help me, cook for a week because, so-and-so broke her leg and I got you have to just ask what they need and see if you can fill that need.
Yes.
Lady Lou and I were talking about this several times. People will just take and take and take and they don't give. And what they don't realize is that that's going to stop their flow. It doesn't help. It may seem like it at the time. Oh, good, I'm getting something free. But what they don't realize is the flow has to stop somewhere if you don't receive and give.
Yeah. Well, I already know I will flood her business.
I knew it. See, I already knew that. And that's why I said that.
I've already talked to somebody that's influential with a large network of people. And he's already said, oh, yeah, let's put her on the map, and I'm like,
yep.
There we go.
See, there you go.
Yeah, so it'll happen.
Can't stop the flow. No. You got to keep going.
No, and I know. I'm so sorry the show is over, but I want to end with one little word, and it is the word ask, A-S-K, and I've said this on other shows. But the A stands for ask and you shall receive. The S stands for seek. That's the action. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Knock, knock, knock. You got to answer the knock. That's your opportunity.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Jan. This has been just perfect. I've loved every minute of it.
Thank you.
Oh, we're going to have you back on. That's all there is to it.
Anytime. You bet. I'll come back anytime. I love hanging out with you ladies.
Well, we love you too. So, and thank you, Marian, for all your good work with our technology. She keeps us running every week. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here because I don't know it. And that's the beauty of Marian. She does offer this as a service to help you have your own program like ours. She does all the technology for you, and she'll even show up on screen if you need somebody to partner with. And it's a wonderful service. I would not be here without her. So connect with Marian for that if you have an interest or you have a talent that you want to showcase on a show like this. So thank you all. Thank you, Jan, again, and Marian. We love our audience. We're so thankful for the people who watch the replays. And like Marian said, please share this show with your friends. There's a wonderful share button on the YouTube link that you just click it and it asks you, where do you want to send it? Facebook, YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. There's a list this long of the different places you can share that video with one click. It's beautiful.
I have a couple more things that I have to say before we go. We have a new sponsor for not only our newsletter, but also our show. And I just want to let you know that this is a great opportunity for you to think about. Now, the first thing I want to do is to have you look at our community. So we do have a community. It's Natural Curiosity, and it keeps us, curious about everything. And these are just a small sampling of some of the people that have been on our shows and in our community. We have a business mastermind. We have lots of stuff going on. And one of the things that I think is important is showing your support. So look at this. Lady Lou is now showing us our support right here.
Makes the most wonderful graphics for our shows, all of them. Thank you, Marian. And I do love to interview people. If you've got a book, or if you've got a course, or if you've just got a message, any kind of a message that you think the world wants to hear, let's do an interview with you. I'll facilitate. If you want Marian on there, we'll do it, but she'll do the technology, so you know it's going to be fabulous. So
there's our friend Beth.
Hi, Beth. How are you?
She's got a great YouTube channel. She shows you how she's making money doing things like going to the thrift stores and reselling all kinds. She's got eBay stores and you name it, all kinds of stuff. Hi, Beth. I miss you. I'm in Michigan. I'll be back in Texas after the storms are over.
Smart girl.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We're out of here.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe, stay warm, and stay dry.
Stay dry.
Bye, Jan.